I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm okay. I don't need to talk about it.
And if you see lightning happening at all in this series, you know what's happening. Hi, I'm Caitlin. I haven't posted here in a hot minute, but it seems like about time, and we're going to try to be a little more consistent this year. I've been posting mostly on my small business account, Cosmic Candles. Check it out here. I do talk about bookish things over there because I've kind of blended my handcrafted candle business with all things bookish by having like a bookish collection of candles, and a lot of the events that I go to are book related. And so I'm vending at book events with my book adjacent business. I don't know. So I've been doing everything over there. But we need to talk books. But we need to talk here. How am I supposed to tell people who want to support my small business that I enjoy reading books about a top hockey athlete who is the captain of his team? He lets his girlfriend dress his dick up like a superhero with a cape. Or how a dragon dildo just falls out of her car at the airport, and that's her first introduction to someone who she eventually is in a four-way wide choose love romance with. Or that he has popcorn garland wrapped around his dick and his family walks in on him with his popcorn garland dick in a blanket, walking away from his family being like, you saw nothing, but actually the popcorn garland is trailing behind him. And you're like, what is that attached to? How is that happening? Or how she falls in love with the ghost of Christmas past and other things happen. And if you see lightning happening at all in this series, you know what's happening. Not to say that BookTube isn't going to absolutely judge me for my reading preferences. I love a good cozy fantasy, cozy romance. I love a contemporary romance, like rom-com, up the freaking wazoo. When I read for pure enjoyment. And it's usually at the end of my night, right before I just pass out. I'll see you later today. We're gonna tier rank my 2025 reads based on, like, I guess, if they're memorable, if some books I just cannot remember, babes.
Okay, we're gonna tier rank my reads of 2025. We have God tier. These are books that I just cannot stop thinking about. And I think if I were to make a list of all the books ever that I've ever read, they would still be in the top ranking. Yes! That's a category of books that were I absolutely adored them. Not quite God tier, but they were very, very good. Just for the vibes, I probably don't remember anything about this book, honestly, but I remember when I was reading it, I enjoyed it. It just for the vibes. I read a lot, as I'm passing out at night, and so I don't want to say I don't remember things, but sometimes when I'm done with a story, I'm done with a story, but I still remember how it made me feel. Not my cuppa. Those are books that I read that might be outside of my genre comfort zone that just weren't a hit for me. And I don't know, is just gonna I quite literally don't remember anything, and I what? I went into 2025 kind of reading 3 books because I was doing a lot of simultaneous arc reading. So some books I only had on my Kindle, some books I only had physical, and it was just a whole thing. I think one of these I even did an audiobook for. So The Proposal Play was my first read, just for the vibes. This series was wonderful. I enjoyed all the characters throughout the whole series. They're fun, they're flirty, they're kind of hot. But when I close those books, I truly don't really think about them. They're fun while you read them. Not groundbreaking by any means, but I love Lauren Blakely. Mr. Broody by Piper Rayne. I enjoyed it just for the vibes. I think this series was wonderful. Piper Rayne's a duo author duo. I don't know much else about them. They have a series that kind of popped off after the Nest series that has done well, but then is also in some like possible AI art controversy, and it's really confusing. But I read these books before all of that, and I enjoyed them. A Broken Blade. Okay, tell you what. This is a phenomenal book. I needed something that gave me a similar feeling to like how Fourth Wing made me feel. And I don't read a lot of fantasy. I love my cozy rom-com contemporary romances that have like interchangeable tropes and character names, and like I like know what's gonna happen. The beautifully written ones I prefer, but honestly I love me some good rom-com magic in a book. I'll break out of that every now and then into a fantasy, but I don't really read romantasy. I don't know, fantasy is just like a lot for me. But I wanted something to kind of prep for Onyx Storm, and so A Broken Blade was recommended to me by a friend who had just picked the book up as well, and I tore through the pages, absolutely loved it. I gave it a 5-star. I like remember key points in the book, but I can't like give you a synopsis of the book. It was so long ago. It was a year ago, but it was phenomenal, and I want to reread it so that I can then read the series. So yeah, stellar fantasy, and I'm excited to dive into it. I want to read, maybe just jump into the second book this year. I don't know. It's fine. We'll figure it out. The favorites. Okay, so I gifted my mom a book of the month subscription, and we ended up choosing the same book and reading it. I ate it up in 2 days. The favorites by Layne, Fargo. I gave it 5 stars. Literally, I think I read it in like a day and a half. Do I have it logged here? January 7th to January 8th. Yes. Ate it up. It's like mockumentary, figure skating, Tanya Harding type scandal. I grew up figure skating, and my brother played hockey, and so like me and my mom were kind of interested in just like figure skating drama, and that kind of fit into my niche of like I fell into hockey romance, and so I was like, figure skating, I'd prefer it. Wonderful read. I enjoyed it. It's gotten like iffy reviews, I think. Like some people really like it, and some people just like did not vibe with it. I'm one of the people that absolutely loved it. Darling Girls. Tell you what, not my cuppa. It's wonderfully written, and I think maybe when I'm in a really good headspace, I'm down to read something like this again. I honestly don't know like how this writing is genre categorized. I don't know if it's like a thriller or what, but it's, after reading the favorites, I was like, I need to read more of my book of the month books. Most of the books on my bookshelf are book of the month books that I have not read. Oh, my TBR for book of the month is just like humongous. It's like, I'm gonna read one. This one seems interesting. Chose it blindly. Don't remember when it shipped to me. It was like in the summer. Don't remember. Y'all, there's like child abuse, and it like made me super uncomfortable, but it was written really well, and I was like turning the pages. Physical books are something that I really only read in the daytime, and so that's why book of the month, like I just don't read those books as often. I love fall asleep with my Kindle. That's me in bed every night in the middle of reading a story, reading my Kindle. That's how I read. So it took me a while to read this. 4 days. I rated it 4 stars. It's not my cup of tea, but I enjoyed it. It was fine. Okay, Unsteady by Peyton Corinne. I absolutely love this book, and I love this series now. I think I read this right before the second book came out. I think that's true. I gave it 4 stars, but I haven't stopped thinking about it. And I gave it 4 stars because I had some qualms with like how the characters handled something, but I think after reflecting on it, I think that was like part of their journey. I don't know, because also in the series, it's so good. Okay, Onyx Storm. This was like kind of a buddy read with friends. Some people were into it, some people weren't. I read it. I enjoyed it. It was just for the vibes, really. I haven't thought about Onyx Storm. Whereas like the second book, Something Fire. Nope. Iron Flame. Something fire. I don't know. I was thinking Catching Fire, bro. No. Iron Flame. I thought about Iron Flame after reading it. I think the entirety of that year. Onyx Storm. I read it. I moved on. I moved on, and I moved on to Spiral by Bal Khabra. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I need something in between the yes and the just for the vibes, because I remember really, really liking this book. I gave it 5 stars. I didn't write a review, so I truly don't really remember much. But I remember really liking it. Yeah, just for the vibes. I truly don't remember much else. But I really liked it. I'm going to put it in yes. Unloved. Okay, so this is the second book after Unsteady. And I think this one was just beautiful. I think Peyton Corinne really stepped into her, like, poet era, I want to say. My review, because I wrote one, says, yep, okay, I loved this book and I don't care who knows it. Okay. Oh, this is Freddie, but off of it, he's battling a learning disability, academic struggles, and the weight of an ultimatum from his estranged former NHL father. Enter Ro. Oh, this is where I'm thinking of Ro. Okay. Enter Ro, his determined, kind-hearted tutor, who is grappling with her own messy love life and unspoken feelings for Freddie. Oh, yes. If you love, like, Elle Kennedy, Helena hunting, slow burn, sports romance, like, this is your girl. This is your girl. Dare I say better than Elle Kennedy. And Elle Kennedy has, like, a cult following, and I really enjoyed the Off-Campus series. Didn't so much love the Briar U series that much. And then I've enjoyed, like, the Graham Effect. No. Yeah, the Graham Effect, the Dixon Rule. Charlie Method was okay. It wasn't my favorite. But, like, I'm a huge fan of Elle Kennedy. I've read most of her books. I think Peyton Corinne does Elle Kennedy times, like, a lot. And then Mr. Swoony. I think this is the 3rd book in the Nest series. Mr. Swoony, here he is. I really liked this one. Read this as an arc. I don't know if I remember much. I'm looking at my review. Connor and Eloise. Oh. It was a stop the wedding trope. Yeah, just for the vibes, I think. But it, like, when it comes to, like, married and merit, like, I don't know. It gets messy. But I enjoyed it. It was good for the vibes. If You Love Me. Okay, so we're still in our goalie era. If You Love Me by Helena Hunting. I love me some Helena Hunting. Helena Hunting's Pucked series is one of the first series. If you go back onto, like, my Goodreads, it's like one of the first hockey romances I read after Icebreaker. It's like kind of an embarrassing, like, rabbit hole that I fell through, but that's how I discovered Pucking Around and Emily Rath, and it is so Helena Hunting I'm like dedicated to. I read anything she writes, truly. Big fan. She writes a lot. If You Love Me, this is Roman's story. He's brooding goalie. This is what I'm thinking of. I was like, broody goalie? No. Well, yes, but broody goalie. And this is Lexi, right? Yeah, Lexi, who's an assistant coach. And I think Helena Hunting does a good job of, like, making the female characters, like, stand strong on their own. Somebody that I think does that really well is Chelsea Curto. And we'll talk about her. I feel like I'm saying her name wrong every time I say it. Oh, the Charlie Method. I gave it 4 stars. It was fine. I don't mind a why choose, right? Because that's what that was. I think it was a why choose. The Girlfriend Zone. Lauren Blakely. I think this was an arc as well. Yes, it's on my arc. Lauren Blakely, honestly, I have so much fun when I read her books. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna be a little warm. I'm gonna be a little warm at times. But I'm definitely gonna giggle. There's definitely gonna be a cute dog involved. Oh, this is where the meddling grandmother comes in. This is a really good book because I think a lot of recurring characters later in the series and in some of the adjacent series feature. Yeah. Girlfriend Zone was good. Bridesmaid by Chance by Meghan Quinn. Where are you? It was a good book. I liked it though. Maybe I put just for the vibes. Because I guess I don't really remember it. And I didn't write a review, so I can't even like look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's what it means. Done and Dusted, I did the audio book. This is Lyla Sage. I really liked it. It was good. When I think of cowboy romance though, which we'll get to in a little bit, I discovered my like favorite cowboy romance ever. Pucked Off. Okay, so the Pucked series, I picked it up and then dropped in the middle of it. I decided to pick it back up because I was like, dang, I want more Helena hunting. Like her style of writing, I enjoy. It's fun. So I picked it back up with Pucked Off, which is this one. I love these new covers. Yes, absolutely. But I gave it a 4. Why did I give it a 4? Which couple is this? Oh, this is Lance. I don't remember. I'm gonna put just for the vibes. I truly don't remember why I gave it 4 stars. And I don't want to say I'm generous with stars, but I usually just like, if I had a good time, it's a 5-star read, you know? Okay, so after Done and Dusted, Pucked Off. Oh, and then I continued with the series. Pucked Love. Yes. Also did not write a review for this one, but I love that it has the character art on this. This is Charlene and Darren. Oh, okay. I remember having fun with this one. Don't quite can't tell you what it was about. God, that was such a good book though. I remember loving this one. Okay, Pucked Love. Just for the vibes, clearly. Okay, this one. Yes. Well, okay. Just for I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. But then the series is so good that I kind of want to make this a 5-star. You know what I mean? So I started the first book in the DC Stars series, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with Chelsea Curto. Everything is wonderful. But I read that, and then I was like, oh shit, I have an arc to read. So then I read Mr. Charming, and I gave it a 5. Didn't write. Oh, actually this wasn't an arc, but it just came out. I missed the arc like sign up window, so I was like, oh, it's out, I want to read it. Just for the vibes. Truly don't remember much. None of this is true. I gave it 5 stars. Still not really my cuppa. It's a thriller. Those kind of freak me out. I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm okay. I don't need to talk about it. Then I got to continue onto the DC series. Yes, absolutely. After that, I had an arc for Kenna King. This is the first book in the Rookie Hawkeyes series, and I gave it 5 stars, and I still think about it often. It's very good. He's French Canadian, and he like calls her his like little bird and stuff. It's very cute. I loved reading this on my Kindle because he'd say stuff, and I'd be like, girl, what did he say? I would just use like the Kindle Translate, and boom, easy. Till Summer Do Us Part. I thought this was so fun. I thought it was a good time. It was a good time. I want to put just for the vibes, but also like, I really loved this book. Meghan Quinn. I think any book of hers is usually a 5-star for me. She's another author where I'm just like, I'll read anything she writes and I'll probably have a good time. Unrivaled Love. It was fine. Just for the vibes. I kind of enjoyed it. I got it as an arc through, I think, Good Girls PR. And it was fine. This is the second book in this series. And I think the first one also was just like, okay. I think it has 3 or 4 books in the series now. I haven't picked them back up. But I've thought about it because Erin Marie Bassett is like a Chicago local. and she often has signed books at the Last Chapter bookstore in Chicago, in like Roscoe Village area. And I just think it's super cool. I think she's a neat author. I just like, I don't know, this series just isn't hitting it for me. But I've read a few of her books before. My favorite, this is like, I don't want to say it's barely a cowboy romance, but this is like my favorite one. It also kind of interconnects with Icebound by Meredith Trapp. This is technically the second book in a series, I think, but it's also totally a standalone. And then this one got traditionally published. I don't think Icebound did, but this is a like hockey player going back to his hometown, ends up falling in love with like his childhood crush. And he also has like a young daughter, right? That's this one. He has a young daughter. Childhood friends to lovers, single dad, small town, summer romance. So it's like for the summer he's there watching the ranch while his mom's, I don't know, let him do his thing. Honestly, dare I say, I think this is God tier for me. I think it is. I loved the story. I loved the characters. I still think about this book. I want to see Meredith Trapp winning in 2026. Thank you. That could be yours. I gave it 5 stars, but I think I'm just going to say it's just for the vibes. It's Nate and Essie who, you know what? I'm going to say yes, actually. Because, like, this is technically not part of any series. It's a total standalone, but it, like, connects 3 or 4 different series of Helena Hunting's writing. So I think it's really good. I would put it in God tier, but I haven't read a lot of Helena Hunting's backlog past the Pucked series. So I just like didn't know who some of those characters were. Apparently they're great characters, and I recognize some of the names because there's like it's weird, the like trees from each of the series, but I think it's super cool especially if you're a Helena Hunting fan. It's a must read. This was Revolve. I unfortunately absolutely did not like it. I wanted to love it so bad. It's the third in a series. And there's a 4th one that's going to come out in 2026, I think. Received it as an arc through NetGalley. I applied for it. I actually applied for the second book, Spiral, and did not get accepted for the arc, which is totally fine. I was like, all right, I'm going to read it anyway. Applied for Revolve as well and got approved. And awesome. I get to read it early. Y'all, I don't know what it is about like editing. I know the author is much more indie than most. I think that's true. But like they say arcs you shouldn't rate on like editing and typos and things like that. But when I say the formatting and typos and just like editing mistakes were so distracting that it took me out of scenes multiple times where I felt like Raven Simone, like, oh snap. Like it was like it took me out. So I gave it 3 stars, but I want to reread it and so hope that it delivers, because Spiral and oh gosh, the one before, so good. This one I did as an advanced listener copy, Beneath the Hood. This is the 3rd in a series. I saw it as an option for NetGalley, and I was like, Emily McIntire, I like her writing's cool. Sure, I'll like, I'd love access to that. That'd be great. And I got approved, and then I also got like instant approved for Blackstone Publishing on NetGalley for their audiobooks. So that's actually where I got my next audiobook, which, by the way, Beneath the Hood, it was good. I rated it 4 stars. It's the 3rd book in the series, so I didn't have a lot of the context, but like it didn't really matter. The story was still really great. It was great for the moment, I think. Voice of the Ocean. This is written by Kelsey Impicciche, who I know is a Sims creator for the most part, who I absolutely love. I've watched Kelsey's YouTube channel for years. So I was like, oh my God, there's an audiobook of her new book. It's gorgeous, by the way. The art is so pretty. And it's like a retelling of The Little Mermaid for like the first portion, and then like completely splits in a really cool way. But then towards the end, it just like I don't know. The ending was not satisfying whatsoever. There's a really cool setup for the second book, though. So, like, maybe it'll redeem itself. But it was good for the time being. When there's a second book, I'll definitely read it or listen to it and be excited for it. Let's see. After this was Bleacher Report, which is the second book in the Rookie Hawkeyes, just for the vibes, I think. Honestly, I think the first book was so good. The second book was also good, but not as good. But we were back in the hockey romance spirit, because right after that, we went straight into Slapshot, which this was an arc as well, the Bleacher Report. Slapshot was not. Read through Kindle Unlimited, and this is like a chef and a single dad. I really liked it. Chelsea Curto does a really cool thing where she makes her characters not only 3-dimensional, but I think they're like 4, 5, 8 D20 type characters. Like, they're so full-fledged. I feel like I'm gonna have to double check, but I remember sign language being straight to the heart. I just think that's so cool when someone takes the time to like do that for somebody. Okay, Hat Trick. Oh, so I read Slapshot leading up to the release of Hat Trick. And y'all, when I say this is the spiciest Chelsea Curto has been up to this point in her writing, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I'm kind of like blushing thinking about it. After Hat Trick, we went straight to the arc of Pucking Strong. When I tell you, I love Dr. Emily Rath, and the fact that I was able to receive an advanced reader copy, I like geeked out. I don't want to say I bragged about it, but I wanted to show how much I appreciated it, bro. Not just for the vibes. Pucking Strong was wonderful. I think a great addition to the Jacksonville Rays series. I don't think it's the strongest of all of the Jax Rays, but Pucking Strong is phenomenal. Can I say that Hat Trick is God tier for me? I can't stop thinking about it. Yeah, I can't stop thinking about it. We're going to leave that there. After Pucking Strong, we went back the trad route to Gloves Off from Stephanie Archer. This is a series that I've read as it comes out and not like all at once. So I have a hard time remembering like who is who. Yeah, this isn't the one that starts as enemies to lovers, right? Because the enemies thing was like too much. Oh yeah. This is good for the vibes. Also just like a very good book. God, they were kind of annoying in the beginning though. Like really annoying, like how much they hated each other. But once they started to like each other, it was really good. I'm going to say just for the vibes. For now. I wanted to go back to Chelsea Curto vibes. So just for the cameras, I wish it was longer, honestly, but I'm excited to see, like, I can't remember what couple this is, but this is a novella leading into the Through the Lens series. So it was good. I didn't continue this series. I kind of took a break from cute romance and went to a super indie author, Salina R. Cruz. And y'all, when I say this book fucked me up, it fucked me up. I was thankfully, after reading so many fluffy good romances, I was in a good place. This was August when I read it. Yeah, end of August, early September. I was feeling good about myself all the time. And I continued to feel good about myself throughout this book and after. But it takes a heavy toll on you. Author Salina R. Cruz is phenomenal and a wordsmith and like puts such strong emotions into words, and I identified a lot with both characters, but it's mostly told as like a letter from a husband to a wife, and they're like actively getting divorced, and through this, trigger warning, child loss, they lose a child through pregnancy, and like they're falling out of love with each other through that process because they're handling it in very different ways. And they were like already struggling to begin with. And so the thing that they were hoping would bring them together ended up pulling them apart even more. And it just like, it hurt. Beautifully written. Wow. So I needed a cute little break after that. I decided I'm going to read Beneath the Stars, which is the first book from the audiobook that I read over here, Beneath the Hood. I think it was also great, just for the vibes. Let me put them in order that I read them. I also learned I've been saying this name wrong. Catabasis? I was saying Catabasis. Either way. Okay, so I don't know how I feel about this. So I gave it 3 stars. It took me like all month to read, and I was just like not feeling it. But it was really good read. It was a really good read, honestly. I had fun with it. I rotated between this and a few of the other books. I believe I was reading this simultaneously with Beneath the Stars and Chemistry, maybe. But I can't stop thinking about this book either. I'm gonna say yes. I can't stop thinking about it. So yeah, I don't know. I can't stop thinking about it, but I also didn't quite care for it. I'm gonna say just for the vibes for now. We'll see how I feel about it in like a year, maybe. And then next was, okay, so in preparation for Merry Christmas, You Filthy Animal, I was going to read How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Meghan Quinn, but instead I read the second book before the first, and I'm going to put them both in just for the vibes, just because they are such just like Hallmark holiday specials with like a level of funny that is just, I think, so Meghan Quinn, where you get your kind of fluffy, cute holiday Hallmark romances, you know, they are exactly as they say they are. Make it funny, make it like kind of crude, and make it hot. She's really good at that. It was just for the vibes. It was good. Merry Little Christmas, the same vibe. Honestly, I kind of kept those vibes going of like Hallmark holiday romance with spice and humor. And Lauren Blakely always delivers on that front of funny, engaging, hysterical, hot, cute. If You Claim Me, I love this book just because, yes, I have, you know, a very similar wedding dress to the one on this cover, and I thought it was very, very cute. Connor and Dread, right? Connor and Dread. Yes. Okay. God. I so easily forget. I don't know. This was just such a cute book. I loved it. And I loved how they tied in elements from I Could Be Yours, which is just like the staple of Helena hunting worlds colliding. I enjoyed it. Now I start getting into arcs that are releasing in 2026. And I read Unbound. Okay, I'm going to put her in yes for right now. But when I tell you I am going to read the traditionally published version because it's going to be different. She's already confirmed that there's going to be added content and things are going to be changed. I'm reading immediately. And it'll probably end up God tier right after that. I guarantee it. So good. Unbound, Peyton, Corinne, The Woman That You Are. And then I read And Now Back to You. And honestly, this might also go in God tier. This is an arc through NetGalley. And it was my first BK Borison read. And honestly, I'm going to read every single thing she ever puts out, plus her backlog. The way she writes is beautiful. Unbound and Now Back to You back to back felt like beautiful symmetry. They're both cute, both written in such a beautiful way. Peyton, Corinne, The Woman You Are. She just, I can't. BK Borison just writes so well. And so that was a lot of fun. I loved these characters. I loved the shenanigans they got into, the pink frosted donut, if you know, you know. And then I have another arc. I enjoyed this. It was good for the vibes. I gave it 4 stars. It's a romantic comedy of sorts. I think this is a book that translates really, really, really well to screen. When I read books, I see them as movies in my head, essentially. So Save the Date, I think, is really good just for the vibes for reading. But this is written by Mallory Cass, aka Cass Morgan, I believe is the other pen name they use. And they wrote the 100. So I think like a screen adaptation of this would go so hard as a rom-com, but as a book it didn't really translate. But if you read it kind of like a script more than like a book story type thing, I think you'll get a lot from it. And then I read The Flirting Game from Lauren Blakely, and I think just for the vibes. I gave it 4 stars, but I had a fun time reading it. It's very cute. Neighbors are a hockey player and just a cute lady doing her thing, you know? She's got her passions. I liked some of the like B and C plot. It was good. Then I read Good Spirits by BK Borison, and I'm nervous to put the first in a series in God tier, but I think I have to. This is a book you can read any time of the year, I think, and get the same like whimsy from it. But reading it in winter right before Christmas, perfect whimsy. And then Sin Bin by Chelsea Curto was my last read of 2025. And it just, yes, 5-star. Chef's kiss. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? Okay, this is the list for 2025. All of the books that I read and how I rank them. I have my God tier. I have my yes category. I have just for the vibes. They were good while I read them, and I haven't thought too much about them since. And Not My Cuppa, which mostly are books that are outside my genre, and it just like wasn't my favorite. Or if it's a book in my genre, I just like didn't vibe with it. Not My Cuppa. And I ended up not putting anything in IDK. I at least remembered something about each book. Thanks for joining me. Next, we're gonna go through my physical TBR, and we're gonna catalog everything. So based on my 2025 reading, like these are the things that I have just read. A lot of it on my Kindle, but I think it reflects very similarly back behind me. We'll see. Okay, we'll see you next time. Bye.